Hey guys, it is October 6th, which is Thursday. Thursday post Ian. Today's stream that I want to talk with you guys. I know I kind of briefly talked about on one of my earlier streams the losses. So when you have losses on your home or to your stuff, I've talked about a few different things about the tax relief that's available because I know that nobody's really thinking about taxes right now, but maybe you should be. We are thinking about taxes for you. That's why I'm trying to push this information out, because everybody needs help right now. Everybody needs relief right now. And there's some really great tax relief. So that is, I feel like we are so blessed here. And so very, very, very fortunate to be able to have our office open and to have our people safe enough that they can come in. So I have pretty much a fully staffed, it's limited hours, but pretty much a fully staffed office when so many don't, that I kind of feel like it's my responsibility to be able to read through this information, interpret it, and push it out to you guys, even if we're not the ones helping you and you're going back to your CPA or your accountant as they start to reopen, hopefully. And I kind of see it as my mission to get at least the basics of this information out to you guys so that you can start to think about it and know what your options are, because there is some really great tax relief out there. So the thing I want to kind of dive into, I promise it will only be like 5 minutes, but that I want to focus on today is damages to your home. So if you are the homeowner, this is not for renters. This is not about your property that was damaged, like your stuff, your furnishings, your clothes, not that. This is damage to your home. So if that is you, and specifically damages to your home where you're not filing an insurance claim because it was $5,000 or less, like to the best of your knowledge, it was around $5,000 or less. That is who I'm speaking to today. So if that's not you, you had more than that, I'll talk to you another day. But right now I'm speaking to those $5,000 or less to your home and you own said home. So there is tax relief right now for that, where I spoke about it before, where you can claim that damage, that $5,000 or less, on your 2021 taxes. So if you don't want to wait until 2022, maybe you're not filing 2022 until like April or May or June, and you need that support right now because everybody had added costs for this lovely storm that has graced us with its presence. So if you would like to get that tax benefit now, instead of waiting until you file your taxes next year, you can amend your 2021 taxes. That if you've already filed them, you can amend them. If you haven't filed them yet, you can file them for the first time. And you can claim that $5,000 or less on those taxes. Now, it's not limited to $5,000 or less, but the rules are different based on how much damage you had. So right now I'm going to speak just to the $5,000 or less. So I happen to be in that. I'm blessed enough to be in that category. So if you had $5,000 or less in damages, you can use something called the de minimis safe harbor method. De minimis safe harbor method. So that means that you can literally just make a list. I would suggest taking pictures, but you can make a list of the damages to your house. You can write said list down. You can save it in your whatever online Google Drive or OneDrive or like whatever upload option you use. You can email it to your CPA and that can be your list, but somehow just kind of make an itemized list of what your damages were. Take some photos just in case you were to need to support it to show why you think it's 5,000 or less. So you could actually pull that out and give it to an IRS auditor if you needed to. And you're allowed to take that on your taxes. You don't have to wait for a contractor to come out to give you an estimate for it, which is difficult right now. You don't have to wait for an insurance adjuster to come out and give you, because you're not going through insurance because it's not enough. I mean, hurricane deductibles are way more than that. So if it is 5,000 or less only, then you are allowed to just write out what your damages are and what you think the cost will be to repair them. It doesn't have to be 5,000. Maybe it's 4,000. Maybe it's 3,000. I don't know. And you can amend your taxes just with that. Now, again, my recommendation is take photos of it and keep them in your tax record so that because once you fix it, you no longer you can't show an IRS agent fixed problems. Now, the important thing I do want to mention on this, I know I'm coming up on my 5 minutes, is you can't improve them better than they were before the storm and write that off. So for example, I know this is probably not 5,000 or less, but I'm going to use it as an example anyways. If you have a window and said window was broken and it was just a normal window, you cannot say, to heck with this, I'm going to replace that window with an impact window, which is much better of a window than you had before. You can, I mean, of course, but maybe a regular window, I have no idea what they cost right now, so I'm sure I'm way out of line. But let's pretend a regular window is, for whatever size is damaged, is $500. And you say, I don't want to do that. I wanted to do impact anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing it, and I'm going to do an impact window. And that window is, I don't know, $1,000, right? $500 for a regular, $1,000 for an impact. So the amount that you can include on your taxes that I'm talking about is $500. The cost it is to fix what was broken, not $1,000, which is the cost to improve to a higher level what you had. So you can only include the damages to fix it, not improve it. And that is because you're not waiting on insurance companies, because you're not waiting on contractors to fit you in and come out, and then the contractors who are super, super busy to draw up estimates and stuff for you. This is why I wanted to speak to this group of people specifically, the 5,000 and less people, because you are able just to write that list out, take your photos, estimate out and, to the best of your knowledge, what you think that cost would be, and then send that off to your CPA or whoever did your taxes so that they can e-file that amended tax return and get you some money back. So just so you know, I don't know what everybody's tax situation is that's going to watch this, but let's pretend you were in a 20% tax bracket. You write off $5,000 of damages. That's $1,000 that you would potentially be getting back in your pocket right now. So if you do have some out-of-pocket stuff that, evacuation costs, you had to replace all the food in your fridge, all that stuff, I'm sure that $1,000 would help repad your bank account a little bit. So again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Whoever filed your taxes for you the first time is the only person who can e-file that amended return. So if you are a client of mine and you want to take advantage of this, just email me over a list of what your damages were. You can send me photos if you want. We'll keep them in your records, but you don't have to. You can keep them in yours. And then I can e-file that amended return for you and get that in so that you can start to get that refund processing. If I did not do your taxes and you went to another accountant or CPA who did them, start with them because they're going to be the ones who can e-file that amended return. I can't e-file a return, or e-file an amended return that I did not initially file. So if they aren't reopening, and they're not going to. I mean, if they're going to reopen in a few days, amended returns are taking like 6 to 8 months to process. So if you're just waiting for them to get power in a few days, it's going to behoove you to wait for them to get power and to then go ahead and reach out to them. But if you have reason to believe they're not going to reopen, then by all means, reach out to us, or they went out of business, or it was H&R Block or whatever. You're not going to be able to use them. We can still help you, absolutely, and we should do it now so that we can get it in line, but we are going to have to paper file that amended return, so it's going to take a little bit longer. So definitely hit your person first. If that's not an option, reach out to us. We'd love to help you. I've been saying it each time. You know where to find us, 239-936-6144. You can email me at andrea@cpaofflorida.com. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can send my company a message on Facebook. Again, we're blessed enough to have power. So however it is you want to reach out to us, I'm happy to receive that message. I hope if you're listening that means you have power and that we can start to rebuild our lives and move forward. And I hope this is helping bring you a little bit of peace of mind as you look around your house and wonder what it is that you can do to help move yourself forward. So stay strong, go Florida. And I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow.